Buckingham Palace, 1839. A young queen, headstrong but in love. Her even younger husband, handsome, but was he happy? Enter stage right Lady Flora Hastings, lady-in-waiting, and the unfortunate centre of a scandal that would rock Victoria's court. Was there truly a love affair, or something far more insidious at play? Our story, dear reader, is one of whispers, of accusations whispered in dark corners. It's a tale as old as time, power, love, and a healthy dose of good old-fashioned gossip. Fasten your bonnets, for we're about to delve into the heart of a royal scandal. Let's meet our cast, shall we? First, our leading lady, Queen Victoria, just 19 and already ruling a nation. Imagine the pressure. Then there's Prince Albert, her beloved, though some might say imposed upon her husband. But was he truly as besotted with Victoria as she was with him? And finally, the woman who set tongues wagging, Lady Flora Hastings. Not known for her beauty, but possessing a sharp wit and even sharper tongue. A dangerous combination in court, especially when aimed at the Queen's favourite lady-in-waiting, Lady Portman. Oh, the drama! It began, as scandals often do, with hushed voices and knowing glances. The corridors of power have always been fertile ground for whispers and secrets, and this was no exception. Lady Flora, you see, had the misfortune of developing a rather prominent stomach. In an era where appearances were everything, this was more than just a personal concern, it was a public spectacle. Now, ladies, we've all been there. A bit of bloating, a touch of indigestion, but in the tightly laced world of Victorian England, such a condition was not merely a matter of discomfort. It was a potential scandal waiting to erupt. But in Victorian England, well, let's just say minds went straight to one conclusion: pregnancy. And not just any pregnancy, but one that could shake the very foundations of the royal court. And the finger of blame pointed squarely at Prince Albert. Yes, the very same Prince Albert who was the consort of Queen Victoria. The implications were staggering. The rumours swirled faster than a waltz at a royal ball. Every whispered word added fuel to the fire, and soon the entire court was engulfed in a blaze of speculation and intrigue. Lady Flora, it was whispered, had been caught sneaking out of the prince's chambers late at night. The image of her tiptoeing through the dimly lit corridors only added to the drama. A love letter intercepted, its contents too scandalous to repeat, or more likely never existed in the first place. The mere suggestion of such a letter was enough to send shockwaves through the court. The court was abuzz, and poor Victoria, well, she was about to have a right royal fit. The Queen, known for her strong will and sharp temper, was not one to take such rumours lightly. The entire episode threatened to unravel the carefully woven tapestry of her reign. An investigation was launched, with every detail scrutinised and every whisper dissected. The stakes were high, and the truth, whatever it might be, was bound to have far-reaching consequences. Lady Flora, caught in the eye of the storm, faced immense pressure. Her health deteriorated, and the weight of the scandal took a heavy toll on her well-being. In the end, a royal decree was issued, attempting to put the matter to rest. But the whispers in the corridors of power never truly ceased. They lingered, a reminder of the fragility of reputation and the ever-present danger of scandal in the world of the Victorian elite. Lady Flora, to her credit, protested her innocence. She wasn't with child, she cried, just a tad unwell. But alas, dear reader, her protestations only seemed to fan the flames of gossip. See, Lady Flora had made a few enemies in her time, not least of all the aforementioned Lady Portman, who, some whispered, had a penchant for spreading rumours faster than you can say Earl Grey. And what of Prince Albert? Well, he was mostly silent on the matter, maintaining a dignified, if slightly pained, silence throughout. One can only imagine the thoughts racing through his mind. I came here for diplomacy, not a soap opera. Section 5. A Queen's Fury, a Husband's Honour. Now, Victoria was many things, but a fool she was not. She was a woman of immense intelligence and sharp wit, always aware of the happenings in her court. She loved Albert dearly, with a passion that was evident to all who saw them together. Their love was the stuff of legends, a bond that seemed unbreakable, but a queen has her pride, and the thought of her husband betraying her, especially with Lady Flora of all people, was a bitter pill to swallow. It gnawed at her, creating a storm of emotions. Lady Flora was a figure of controversy, a noble woman whose presence in the court was both admired and questioned. The rumours surrounding her were enough to ignite the Queen's fury. The Queen, in her determination to uncover the truth, demanded a medical examination. It was an unprecedented move, one that shocked the court. Yes, you read that right. A medical examination in the royal court, a scene that was both dramatic and invasive. A right royal probing, if you will, to determine the truth behind Lady Flora's condition. The stakes were high and the tension was palpable. The doctor, tasked with this delicate mission, knew the gravity of the situation. His findings could alter the course of many lives. The tension in the palace could have choked a footman. Every whisper, every glance was filled with anticipation and fear. The court held its breath, waiting for the results. Would this be the end of a royal marriage? The question lingered in the air, heavy and foreboding. Would this be the end of a royal marriage? The love that once seemed unbreakable now hung by a thread, threatened by suspicion and scandal. Would Lady Flora be banished in disgrace? Her fate rested on the outcome of the examination, a fate that seemed increasingly uncertain. And what of the poor doctor tasked with examining her? One shudders to think his role was crucial and the pressure on him was immense. The entire court watched, waiting for the truth to be revealed. Section 6. Enter the doctors stage left and right. Not one but two doctors were called upon to examine Lady Flora. One can only imagine the poor woman's humiliation, poked and prodded like a prize pig at a country fair. And the verdict? Well, after much deliberation and hushed whispers, the doctors declared Lady Flora to be innocent. No child, no scandal, just a rather unfortunate medical condition, the details of which I shall spare you, dear reader. The court breathed a collective sigh of relief. The Queen, however, was not so easily appeased. She may have accepted the medical evidence, but the seed of doubt had been sown. Section 7, Public Opinion, a most fickle beast. Word of the scandal, as scandals tend to do, spread beyond the palace walls and into the streets of London. The newspapers, those purveyors of truth and gossip, had a field day. Cartoons were drawn, pamphlets were printed, and everyone, from the fishmonger to the chimney sweep, had an opinion on the matter. Some sided with Lady Flora, decrying the Queen's treatment of her as cruel and unjust. Others whispered that there was more to the story than met the eye, and that the doctors had been paid off to cover up the truth. Ah, the deliciousness of a good conspiracy theory. Section 8, Vindication of a sort. Lady Flora, her name cleared, sort of, returned to court, but things were never quite the same. The whispers followed her. The stares lingered a little too long. As for the Queen and her prince, well, they put on a brave face, but the damage had been done. Trust once broken is a difficult thing to mend, even for royalty. Section 9, Scars left on a Queen's heart. The Hastings affair, as it came to be known, left an indelible mark on Queen Victoria. It was a scandal that shook the very foundations of the royal court and the public's perception of the monarchy. It hardened her, some say, made her more suspicious, more wary of those around her. The Queen, once known for her youthful exuberance and optimism, became increasingly guarded and mistrustful, and who could blame her? The betrayal she felt was not just personal but also public, a wound that was constantly reopened by the whispers and gossip of the court. To have your trust so deeply betrayed, to have your marriage questioned so publicly, it was a humiliation that no amount of royal decorum could fully mask. Well, it's enough to make even a queen lose her composure. The emotional toll was immense, and it was evident in her demeanor and decisions in the years that followed. The affair also highlighted the precarious position of women in Victorian society. Women, regardless of their status, were often at the mercy of public opinion and societal expectations. Lady Flora, whether innocent or guilty, had been subjected to public humiliation and ridicule. Her every action was scrutinized, and her character was dissected by those who barely knew her. Her reputation, once tarnished, would never fully recover. The stain of scandal was a heavy burden to bear, and it followed her to her grave. Such was the price one paid for daring to cross the Queen, or even for merely being suspected of doing so. The Hastings affair serves as a poignant reminder of the fragility of reputation and the harsh realities of life in the Victorian era. In the end, the scars left on Queen Victoria's heart were a testament to the complexities of power, trust, and the human condition. They shaped her reign and left an indelible mark on history. Section 10. Lessons learned or not learned. So what lessons can we glean from this royal soap opera? Well, for one, be careful what you whisper in the corridors of power, for walls have ears and tongues can be sharper than swords. Secondly, never underestimate the power of gossip, especially when it involves royalty. And lastly, dear reader, always choose your ladies-in-waiting wisely. You never know when one of them might become the center of a national scandal. Section 11. The legacy of a royal scandal. The Hastings affair may have faded from memory, but its echoes can still be felt today. It serves as a reminder of the power of rumor and innuendo and the devastating impact it can have on even the most powerful individuals. It also highlights the importance of truth and justice and the need to treat all individuals, regardless of their station, with fairness and compassion. And so, dear reader, we come to the end of our tale. The players have taken their final bows, the curtain has fallen. But the memory of the Hastings affair lingers, a cautionary tale whispered on the wind.